Sir, appreciate you taking out the time and speaking to us. Thank you so much. All right, well, deadly violence again at Gaza, and 8 points. Israeli forces and drones have reportedly killed dozens as Palestinians gathered for food on Tuesday. Palestinian medics say up to 50 were killed near distribution centers, including a deadly incident on the Salah Al-Din Street. Hospitals reported mass casualties with scenes of bloodshed in Nusayrat, Khan Yunis, and Gaza City. The violence comes amidst growing condemnation of the Israel and US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or the GHF. The UN refugees to work with it, calling it a death trap. More than 400 people have been killed near the GHF sites since May. The rights groups say this aid model violates humanitarian principles and may amount to war crimes. Meanwhile, a fresh push for peace in Gaza is the need of the hour, and Qatar says that indirect talks between Hamas and Israel will begin in the next 2 days, aiming for a ceasefire. The Qatari Prime Minister confirmed ongoing efforts with Egypt and the US, hoping to contain the region's escalating crisis. Listen in to what Qatar's Prime Minister had to say.
ما زلنا مستمرين في جهودنا، وإن شاء الله نحاول أن احنا نبحث عن فرصة خلال الأيام اليومين القادمين أن يكون هناك مفاوضات غير مباشرة بين الطرفين للوصول لاتفاق، ونتمنى أن لا يستغل الجانب الإسرائيلي وقف إطلاق النار مع إيران لتفريغ ما يريد تفريغه في غزة ويستمر قصفه على.
All right, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is also calling for an immediate ceasefire while raising questions about Israel's military goals in Gaza. Well, the UN Human Rights Office says that over 410 Palestinians have been killed while trying to reach food aid points. The UN is now warning that denying food to civilians and shooting at aid seekers may amount to war crimes, and is calling on Israel to halt such actions immediately. Nina Slama, foreign policy expert, is joining us once again at this point in time. She's in Israel as we speak. Nina, once again, welcome back. Well, what do you think is going on over here? Israel has been accused for long now of, targeting civilians, and now there is a conversation that's taking place that forget about the humanitarian crisis. What Israel is doing by shooting at these hungry people amounts to war crimes. What do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, the Israeli Defense Forces is the most moral army in the world. Israel, as a democratic country, is following the rule of law and international law, and is striking only military facilities and Hamas facilities. And I can tell you that before any strike on any compound in Gaza, the IDF spokesperson in Arabic is instructing the population in Gaza to leave a certain area in order to be safe. And unfortunately, Hamas is avoiding and not letting these people to move from one region to another in Gaza in order to remain safe. And we have to understand that all the figures that are coming from Gaza are coming from Hamas terrorist organization. And this is why Israel, and I can tell you that Israel is making everything in its power not to harm civilians, because it is not its objective in this war. The main objectives of the current conflict in Gaza is to release all the 50 hostages that still remain there in horrific conditions, and also to make sure that Israel is safe when it comes to any threat coming from Hamas, making sure that it will not be able to launch another attack as it launched in October 7.
All right. Well, Nina, let's also talk about what's going on in Gaza at this point in time. Well, the conflict with Iran is obviously drawing to a close, hopefully. But what do you make of what's happening in Gaza at this point in time? Is that likely also to be concluded in some way or the other? Because I'm sure Israel also does not want the situation ongoing for years and years.
Sure, Israel was ready to sign and promote a ceasefire with Hamas, But unfortunately, Hamas just didn't want to accept any terms that Israel, the US, and other allies, Qatar, were giving or bringing to the table, rejecting all offers coming from different parts. And this is something that even former US President Joe Biden said, that Hamas was the element that rejected one time and again any proposal that was brought to the table. So Israel is known for wanting to extend its end to peace, to bring an end to the conflict in all the fronts that it is currently fighting. And we saw that in the past, Israel was able to sign peace treaties with pragmatic Arab countries in West Asia, naming Egypt in 1979, Jordan in 1994, and just recently with Bahrain and the UAE, followed by Morocco and Sudan, signing a peace agreement in the framework of the Abraham Accords. So Israel would like to bring stability, would like to bring peace, would like to bring development, and to promote important economic and other projects that many countries, including India, wanted to be part of, such as the India, Middle East, European Corridor, the IMEC project, and other projects that were just about to be fulfilled.
And Nina, what do you think is going to be Iran's position after this conflict? Do you think that it's going to continue to support organizations and proxies like the Hezbollah and Houthis?
So we know that Iran is in the head of the axis of terror, funding and sending weapons and supporting different non-state actors around West Asia that are posing an imminent threat not only to the Jewish state, but also to other Western Asian countries. We're talking about Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, Shiite militias in Syria and Iraq, the Houthis in Yemen that are also firing ballistic missiles towards Israel. And we know that since this war erupted, Israel was able to weaken very much this axis of terror, but weakening Hezbollah, weakening Hamas, weakening the Houthis, and now Iran, which is in the head of this axis. We do hope that peace and stability will remain. We do hope that Iran will stop funding and causing disturbance in the region in order to promote stability and peace, not only in West Asia, but in the entire world.
Nina, appreciate you joining us. All right, over 40 people, including children and healthcare